Hi, Sean. I'm going to talk to you today about the NSP range for the girls, which is the Surf Betty range. I'll start off by saying basically there's 4 different types of Surf Bettys. Starts all the way from 6'4", goes to 6'8", which we have here, the Surf Betty. Then goes to the 7'2", which is just down there. We also have the 7'6", which is just over here. If we just talk about NSP in general terms and look at construction first, it's constructed from epoxy. Now you hear a lot about boards that are constructed from epoxy. However, the Surf Betty range, or the NSP range should I say, is a 7-layer epoxy. And the reason for doing that and making it so durable as opposed to a normal epoxy board, which is about 2 to 3 layers of epoxy, is durability. They make it really strong, so it's a very hard wearing material. And 2 reasons for doing that is full of foam in the middle between those layers, which makes it one of 2 things: very light board. Obviously you can't tell how light this is, but it's an extremely light board, which is great for girls, so carrying the board down the beach. But it's also great for surfing. It's very easy, very manoeuvrable, very easy to punch through waves, and very easy to deal with in general. With this construction as well, it sits slightly higher on the water than what a normal fiberglass board would do, and if it sits higher on the water, it's going to plane faster. So when you're paddling, it's going to plane a little bit faster or move faster, which means that you get into waves slightly earlier, and the earlier that you're getting into waves, the more time you have to pop to your feet, the more time you have to actually surf the wave and get better and better at surfing. So you may be asking who these are designed for. Pretty much anyone, to be fair, but the beginner market especially, they're extremely well priced, and they come with a lot of free goodies like free fins, free leash, and free deck pads as well. Now with this NSP construction, the NSP board range, there's a few really good factors which makes them very good starter boards. Firstly, in terms of volume, they're around about 3 inches thick, maybe slightly more on some of them. And the good thing about that is it's actually going to give it plenty of float. And what I was talking about earlier, which is the more float you have, the more buoyancy, the faster it's going to paddle, the easier it's going to be for you to get into waves. It's got a nice load of width rather, should I say, running throughout the board. And on this 7.2 version, that width runs all the way round and through to the nose, and it's also giving that nice rounded nose as well. The reason they do that, or keeps the rounded nose, some people call them mini Malibu boards, or mini mows, or just fun boards. And the reason for having the rounded nose at the end is when you're popping to your feet, so you've been paddling, you're just about to get to your feet, rather than the board shaking around, which it can do if it was just a forward thruster, it remains really nice and stable, giving you time to pop up, get to your feet, get to where you are, keeping it really nice and stable, so then you're off and you're surfing the wave. And basically, in a nutshell, it goes, the more waves you're going to catch with this type of board, and the more stable it is, the faster you're going to learn. And the faster you learn, the better you're going to surf and the more fun you're going to have. So you may be asking why so many different types of board within the range. As we said, look at some of the best sellers. We've got the 6'8" over here. That's pretty much designed for, let's say, the more petite lady to kick off and learn to surfing with. And anything, I would say, pretty much from 5 foot upwards, really. And depending on weight as well, is a really great board to kick off with. The pretty much the best selling board within the range is either the 6'8" or the 7'2". And again, you've got a few more inches there, which is going to give you a bit more paddle, a little bit more stability, and it's going to make it slightly easier for when you're learning to surf to pop to your feet. And again, for the slightly larger lady, we have the 7'6" range, or a more petite lady that wants to have a board that's easier to paddle and is more designed towards eventually riding a longboard or riding a bigger board. Now the differences between all the boards, again, in terms of learning, is the shorter the board that you ride, the more radical it's going to be to surf. But there are drawbacks with that. So the more radical it may be to surf, but the more difficult that board, or the 6'8", will be to paddle into waves than what 7'2" will be. And vice versa, a 7'2" is going to be more difficult to paddle into waves than what a 7'10" will be. So you have to determine what type of surfing you want to do long term. But one thing, or one word of caution, definitely don't go for a shorter board, particularly just because it looks nice, but is because that what you want to do when you're learning to surf is catch as many waves as possible and have as much fun as possible. And the shorter you can make that learning curve as possible, the better. And you're going to make it shorter by getting the right board for you, which is why it's always a good idea, if you're unsure about what board to get, give us a ring, give us a call, and we'll talk through about your dimensions specifically and see to get to obviously the best board to suit you. Look at just a couple of the features they put with the board as well. You've got the deck pads that come for free, and the reason for putting a deck grab onto a board is you see it's got a little kick in the tail here. The better and better that you get at surfing, and the more and more you start to surf, this pad serves two purposes really. One is it stops your foot slipping off the board, and there's no need for wax, you don't put wax onto this. But also when you're turning on the board, the idea is your heel forces into this part at the top of the wave, forcing the tail round, and you can actually start to get more radical manoeuvres. So it's a real nice feature to put onto a board at starting point. And as you see, the other two, the 6.8 and the 7.6, both have that pad on it. It's a real nice feature. You see this little white plug at the bottom here, this is actually where the leash goes in. So again, you just feed your leash in there, and it's really nice that it's on all the boards at the same place as well. We'll have a quick look at the fin system. It's NSP's own fin system, and as you can see here, the box is in here, really simple. Just pop the fins in, a screw goes through, and you screw it up. And it's really safe, really durable, it won't snap off. And a really nice thing about those fins as well is they come out, so if you do go travelling with a board, it's really easy to take away. Like I say, if you need any more help or assistance, please feel free to phone any of us, and we'll try our best to help you out.